Good morning, everyone. This is Raghu, Assistant Professor of Biotechnology from SRN BGNR Government College, Khammam. So, today's topic is chromosome organization in eukaryotes. In this class, we will study how the chromosomes are organized in the eukaryotes, and also we will see the types of chromosomes based on the centromere, and we will add a note on specialized chromosomes, that is Lamb-Rush and Polytene chromosomes. So while going into the topic, so this is the structure of chromosome. The chromosome will be having two arms and a centromere is present at the center. So in this chromosome it is not at the center, but in general it is present at the center. It is called as metacentric chromosome. So at the end of the chromosome there are special structures called as telomeres. So this is the basic structure of the chromosomes. A centromere is present, two arms are present, and at the end telomeres are present. If it is a duplicating chromosome, that means a mitotic chromosome, the chromosome will be having four arms. Since it is non-duplicating chromosome, it will be having only two arms. So based on the centromere position, the chromosomes are classified into four major types. You can see on the left top, metacentric chromosome, where the centromere is located exactly at the center of the chromosome. And submetacentric chromosome, centromere is located, that means 60% of the one arm will be on the one side and 40% will be other side. The centromere is placed in between those 40-60 position. So such a chromosome it is called as submetacentric chromosome. Acrocentric chromosome, the chromosome will look like an L with a long arm and a short arm. The centromere is present in such a position where the chromosome will look like a L-shaped structure with a short arm and a long arm. So that you can see in the diagram, that is acrocentric chromosome. And telocentric chromosome, the centromere is present at the end of the chromosome. The centromere is present at the end of the chromosome, that is telocentric chromosome. So metacentric, submetacentric, acrocentric and telocentric chromosomes. So that is the types of chromosomes based on the centromere. If you see the function of each and every part of the chromosome, for example, centromere, the proteinaceous coat surrounding the centromere is called as kinetochore, for which the microtubules are seen attached and play an important role in dragging the chromosomes during mitosis or meiosis. So centromere plays an important role in the formation of kinetochore, which plays an important role for binding of microtubules and formation of spindle fibers during mitosis and meiosis. If centromere is absent, kinetochore does not form. Such a chromosome is called as acentric chromosome, where centromere is completely absent. If a chromosome does not contain centromere, then it is called as acentric chromosome. And during mitosis or meiosis, this such type of chromosome will not be attached to the microtubules, or it won't be dragged during the process of mitosis or meiosis, such that there will be a chromosome variation after the process of mitosis or meiosis. So acentric chromosomes, they does not contain any centromere. While coming to the DNA that is present in the centromere region, it is called as satellite DNA. So we will see the complete structure of the DNA associated with histones in upcoming slides. But the DNA that is present at the centromere region, it is called as satellite DNA. So that is centromere. So plays an important role during mitosis and meiosis in dragging of chromosomes, and also it contains satellite DNA. The other part that is important is telomere, that is present or situated at either end of the chromosome. Telomeres prevent the DNA from nuclease action. So generally nucleases are present inside the DNA. These telomeres will prevent the nuclease action on DNA. In general, the age of the cell also depends upon the telomere size. The younger cells will be having longer telomeres. The older cells will be having the older cells chromosomes. The older cells chromosomes will be having lesser telomeres. So telomere length depends upon the age of the cell. So that is the function of telomere. So it will prevent the DNA from nuclease action. It is present on either side of the chromosome, and the age of the cell depends upon the length of the telomere. Cancerous tissues or tumors, they will protect their DNA with the help of telomerase action. So these cancerous cells where telomerase activity will be more. So telomerase is an enzyme which plays an important role in the synthesis of telomers during DNA replication. So the cancerous cells or tissues will show high activity of this particular enzyme, telomerase. So cancerous tissues, the karyotype will be different. It does not contain 46 chromosome. It may contain 45 or 44 or more than 46, etc. All its DNA is protected with the help of telomerase. So that's why cancerous tissues, they show high telomerase activity, since the telomeres will prevent the DNA from nuclease activity. So that is general structure of a chromosome with centromere and telomere at the ends. While coming to the eukaryotic chromosomal organization, how the eukaryotic chromosomes are organized. So in the previous classes we have seen the structure of DNA, that is Watson-Crick model of DNA, which is double-stranded DNA. You can see the double-stranded DNA on the left top, DNA double helix. It is wrapped around the histones. So DNA, because of its phosphodiester bonding, it will be having negative charge. Phosphoric acid groups will be having negative charge. So the entire DNA molecule will be having negative charge. This DNA will be wrapped around positively charged histones to form nucleosomes. We will see the structure of nucleosome in the next slide. So the nucleosome organization, further compaction will lead to chromatin fiber, and this chromatin fiber further condensation will give the entire structure of chromosome. So eukaryotic chromosomes contain DNA plus histones. So the DNA is tightly wrapped around the histones and compacted around the histones to form a chromosome. So you can see the chromosome here with 4 arms. So this is a duplicated chromosome. In general, the chromosome will be having only 2 arms. Here in the diagram, it is shown as 4 arms since it is a duplicated chromosome. So this is the overview of eukaryotic chromosome organization. So this is how the DNA is wrapped around the histones. Generally, the histone protein is an octamer, contains 8 subunits. And the subunits are H2A, H2B, H3 and H4. H2A, H2B, H3 and H4, which are present twice. To give a octamer of 8 subunits. To this octamer, the DNA is wrapped twice, covering around 146 base pairs. The structure which is shown here is called as core histone. Which is an octamer with 8 subunits. H2A, H2B, H3, H4 present twice, where the DNA is wrapped around it will be about 146 base pairs. So this is how the DNA is wrapped around the histones and the structure of histone. So you can clearly see the structure of a single nucleosome, single unit, that is nucleosome. An octamer of histone with 8 subunits, you can clearly see the 8 subunits there. DNA is wrapped around twice, covering 146 base pairs, and a linker histone is present at exit and entry sites of DNA. Together with the linker histone, it will cover around 160 to 168 base pairs. So core histone is an octamer plus DNA plus H1 histone is called as a single nucleosome. So this DNA is highly wrapped and condensed around these nucleosomes. A structure having 6 nucleosomes is called a solenoid model. You can see on the right top a 6 nucleosome structure that is called a solenoid structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see clearly the 6 nucleosomes arranged into a 30 nanometer fiber. Arranged in the form of a 30 nanometer fiber structure. So it is compacted in the form of solenoids, which is having 6 nucleosomes. So solenoid form will be having 6 nucleosomes and it will form first 30 nm fiber. Further condensed, it will form 200 nanometers fiber. Further chromatin to chromosome. So that is how the DNA is compacted in the eukaryotes. So based on the structure and compaction, the chromosome is of 2 types. Based on the DNA compaction around the histones, the chromosome is of 2 types. Euchromatin and heterochromatin. Heterochromatin is a highly condensed structure of DNA. It is a high condensed structure of DNA. And euchromatin is relaxed structure of DNA. It's a relaxed structure of DNA. During DNA replication or during transcription, the heterochromatin is converted into euchromatin. Once the process is completed, that is transcription as well as replication, again euchromatin will be converted into heterochromatin. So that is condensation and decondensation will occur continuously whenever there is a need of DNA unpacking. So you can convert the heterochromatin to euchromatin with the modification of histone proteins. So histone proteins will undergo 3 modifications, that is acetylation, phosphorylation, methylation. So acetylation of histones or any other modification, phosphorylation, methylation, converts heterochromatin to euchromatin. Histone demethylation or deacetylation will convert euchromatin into heterochromatin. So it is the DNA property whether it has to undergo either heterochromatin into euchromatin or euchromatin into heterochromatin, and the status of the cell. If it is an actively dividing cell, immediately heterochromatin will be converted into euchromatin. If it is a non-dividing cell, immediately euchromatin will be converted into heterochromatin. Depending upon the need of the cell, the chromosome compaction occurs, and the compaction and decompaction is based on the histone modification. It may be acetylation, phosphorylation or methylation. So this is heterochromatin and euchromatin. So this shows the genome organization. The human genome is about 3 into 10 to the power of 9 base pairs. 3 into 10 to the power of 9 base pairs. Whereas of E. coli is 4.6 into 10 to the power of 6 base pairs. So this 3 into 10 to the power of 9 base pairs eukaryotic DNA is wrapped in the form of chromosome to form a compact structure. So all the information, genetic information needed for protein synthesis or DNA replication or synthesis of some other proteins are present in the entire genome. That is 3 into 10 to the power of 9 base pairs. In these 3 into 10 to the power of 9 base pairs of DNA, there are about 27,000 to 33,000 genes. So gene is a part of DNA which has the complete information for synthesis of a protein. So you have gene is present in DNA is present in or compacted in the form of chromosome with the help of histone proteins. In this 3 into 10 to the power of 9 base pairs of DNA of human genome, only 1.5% of the genome will be coding for proteins or RNA. Only 1.5% of human genome in 3 into 10 to the power of 9 base pairs of DNA, only 1.5% is the coding portion. Rest of the 98.5% of the DNA, it is non-coding part. It is non-coding part. So this non-coding region, it contains repetitive DNA and introns and other regulators, etc. Introns are called as non-coding sequences, whereas exons are called as coding sequences. So in these non-coding sequences, introns are present and repetitive DNA is present. This repetitive DNA again differentiated into interspersed region and tandem regions. Interspersed regions and tandem regions. Interspersed regions are called, why they are so called? Because they are present in longer base pair length and they are present repeatedly, but the sequence is not same. It is not tandem. That is called as interspersed regions. Those are short interspersed regions and long interspersed regions, long-term repeats and transposons. These will come under interspersed regions. Whereas tandem repeats, they contain 9 nucleotides or 10 or 20 or 40, which are present repeatedly. The same sequence will be present repeatedly. That is called as tandem repeats. So that is the difference between interspersed and tandem repeats. So 98.5% of 3 into 10 to the power 9 base pairs of DNA contains these non-coding regions. So this is genome organization. So while coming into the interspersed regions, long interspersed regions elements are called as, or short interspersed elements. Long interspersed elements are also called as autonomous sequences. short interpreceded regions are non-autonomous sequences, and retroviral like elements, long-term repeats, are also called as transposons. So lines, best example is line 1, line 2, line 3. So you can see on the top 60,000 copies, 370,000 copies, 44,000 copies. It is their copy size in the DNA, that is in 3 into 10 to the power of 9 base pairs of DNA. Short interpreceded regions, that is Alu family sequences. These are 100 to 300 base pair sequences that are present around 1 lakh copies or 4,50,000 copies. If it is mir 3, 85,000 copies. See how much length it is present. If it is lines, 6 to 8 kb. If it is signs, 100 to 300 base pairs, and the copy number you can see 6 lakh copies in case of lines, 1 lakh 200,000 copies in case of ALU sequences, and some retroviral like sequences which will be around 2,40,000 copies, and DNA transposes genes around 2 to 3 kb, that will be around 3 lakh copies. So these are interpreceded regions: signs, lines, long-term repeats, and transposons. Transposons are also called as jumping genes. They will move from one chromosome to another chromosome. Barbara McClintock identified these transposons in wheat and maize. So transposase enzyme play an important role in transposition of DNA from one chromosome to another chromosome. It will be around 2 to 3 kb, and it will lie 3 lakh copies in the human genome. So this is repetitive sequences. While coming into tandem repeats, as I mentioned, we have seen a special structure called as satellite DNA at centromere region. So I have mentioned it while describing the chromosome structure. Special type of DNA that is present at centromere region is called as satellite DNA. So the satellite DNA is of 3 types: microsatellite, mini satellite, macrosatellite. You can see microsatellite DNA 1 to 9 base pairs. That's it. They are present in tandem repeats. Okay. So mini satellites, they will be ranging 10 to 100 base pairs. So that means 11 nucleotides with 4 repeats as shown in the diagram. Macrosatellites more than 100 base pair size, 105 nucleotides in length with 2 repeat units. So that is satellite DNA. Microsatellite, 5 nucleotides in length, 6 repeats, 6 repeat units. Mini satellites, 11 nucleotides in length, 4 repeat units. And macrosatellite, 105 nucleotides in length with 2 repeating units. So that is macro and mini satellites. These microsatellites and mini satellites are used in DNA fingerprinting technique, and these are unique to person to person. That means 5 nucleotide in length, 6 repeat units are present in one person. The same microsatellite will be present 7 to 8 repeat units in another person, and this is unique for every person. These are called as variable number tandem repeats. That means 6 repeat units are present in one person, 7 repeat units in another person, 4 in one person, 8 in one person. So these are called as variable number tandem repeats. So these variable number tandem repeats of microsatellite and mini satellite are used in the process of DNA fingerprinting. So that is repetitive DNA, tandem repeats and interpreceded regions. So that is eukaryotic chromosome organization. While coming to specialized chromosomes, polytene chromosomes and Lamb-based chromosome. So these are consequences of repeated DNA amplification without chromosomal division. Repeated DNA amplification without chromosomal division. You can clearly see the structure of polytene chromosome and also Lamprey chromosomes. So polytene, you can see like a ring-like structures. Here in Lamprey chromosomes, they look like a brush of a chimney. So while coming to the differences between polytene Lamprey chromosomes, so you can clearly see on the top a giant cross-banded chromosome which results in multiple replications of genetic material with duplicated chromatin strands remaining closely associated. So in Lamprey, a greatly enlarged diploid chromosome which has been apparently filamentous granulous loops extending from the chromomeres. So you can see the structure clearly here, which is mentioned in the differences. So the polytene chromosomes are identified by Balbiani. Hence it is called as Balbiani rings also. It is in the 1881, in the year 1881. Whereas the Lamprey chromosomes are identified by Fleming, Walter Fleming in 1882. Polytene chromosomes are seen in salivary glands of Drosophila, diphterian insects. Diphterian insects. So polytene, diphterian insects, salivary glands, you can see these polytene chromosomes. They are visible in the interphase and prophase of mitosis. They are clearly visible in interphase and prophase of mitosis. They are present in the salivary glands of diphterian insects like Drosophila. Lamprey chromosomes are seen in amphibian oocytes, invertebrates. They can be seen clearly in the diploid stage of mitosis. They are clearly seen in diploid stage of mitosis. Amphibian oocytes, especially diploid stage of mitosis, they are clearly seen. So they look like a brush of a chimney, hence called as Lamprey chromosomes. So these are specialized chromosomes, polytene chromosomes which are present in salivary glands of diphterian insects and Lamprey chromosomes which are present in amphibian oocytes. So that is today's topic, chromosome organization in eukaryotes and also types of chromosome based on centromere structure and euchromatin, heterochromatin based on the chromosome compaction and also specialized chromosomes, Lamprey and polytene chromosomes. Thank you for patiently listening to the topic.